Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. If you guys are enjoying the videos, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to really show your support for the channel. And I'm trying to hit 50,000 subs by the end of the year, and with a little bit of help, I really think it should be possible. Also, guys, comment down below if you're still holding crypto. Now, today we got a lot of things to talk about, but one of the first things I want to talk about today is China ranks 37 crypto assets, pushing Bitcoin, XRP, and most major altcoins out of the top 10. Now, this is actually a ranking that they got, I believe, every year or maybe twice a year even. And China does this ranking. I believe they are called the Blockchain Research Institute of the Global Public Chain Technology Evaluation Index or something like that. And basically, they rank a couple of different coins, or quite a lot of them, on their basic tech, applicability, and creativity. And as I said before, they do this almost every year. And as you can see right here, EOS, Tron, Ethereum makes up the top three. On 14th is Bitcoin, and on 16th is Ripple/XRP. I actually find it quite interesting because if you look at the averages, Ripple, in this case, actually does rank on the relatively high end in terms of basis tech. If you compare it to Bitcoin and even the rest, it does rank relatively high. On applicability, it is just a little bit lower, but it's actually really quite mediocre. And on creativity, I would also say it's on the higher half still. So in comparison to Bitcoin or even, I guess, some of the platform coins, it's definitely not that high. But in terms of some of the other ones I'm seeing in here, it is doing quite good. Overall score, though, as we can see, 103 almost, so not that good, making it up to the 16th place. But it's quite interesting to see how they rank them, right? How they rank the coins is so much different than what most of us would say the ranking should be, or how good all of these coins are in different aspects. Then we got XRP price cannot grow organically by Warren Buffett expert or something like that. Well, Warren Buffett inspired investment advisor Preston Fizz says that the XRP price cannot grow organically as the token remains down 95% from its all-time high. Ripple's centralization problems and XRP remains laggard. Investment advisor Preston Pish, the founder of Buffett's Books podcast, believes that XRP, the third largest crypto by market cap, lacks an incentive price structure that would drive its price growth organically. He also pointed to the fact that the token is centralized, meaning that it is largely controlled by one party, i.e. Ripple. So one of the points I have to make whenever somebody says it is centralized is that often the way centralization goes in these cryptos and in these blockchains is that the centralization lies in the fact of how much of a percentage, I guess, should I say it like that? Yeah, can control the network or can control a transaction or so. How much power do they have over the entire network, and how much can they do with that? So for some coins, it really is the way of how many coins you have staked in that sense equals the amount of power you have. But with Ripple, they don't necessarily have the most amount of power in the network because it's not the amount of XRP dictates the amount of power you have. No, with XRP, they actually have validators, and Ripple has deliberately so made sure that their percentage is I believe 17% or lower, making sure that it can never get above 50%, and thus they'll never have a majority stake or rule in I guess in the validation of everything, and thus it can never really be centralized from out Ripple. It could be centralized in theory if I guess a couple of companies were to cartel up and just get a lot of validators running. They would still have to get added to the UNL though, and I think it would take a very long time. But theoretically, with most of the networks, it's possible. But I don't know if it can really work in practice. I don't really know if it could happen. But I guess some other guys are more knowledgeable. If you guys want to talk about it, just ask a comment in the comment section or at me on Twitter, and some people will most likely answer your question surrounding that. And even though Ripple's former chief market strategist Corey Johnson claimed that Ripple Labs discovered XRP, not created it out of thin air, the token cannot escape certain centralization accusations. And of course, as I said before, Ripple did not make XRP, they got it. It was given to the company. It's a little bit of a longer story, but that's the easier way through the corner. XRP supply distribution, well, it's one way to look at it, all right. Ripple, which is responsible for holding 60% of the token's total supply, has faced accusations of tanking the price of the token with its sales. The company's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, told the Financial Times that Ripple would not be profitable without XRP sales. To quote, "We would not be profitable or cash flow positive without selling XRP. I think I've said that. Well, we have now." However, Ripple's executives vehemently deny that they manipulate the XRP price. During his CNN interview in September, Garlinghouse explained that it was in their best interest to let the token succeed. Yes, Ripple owns a lot of XRP. We're very interested in the success of XRP, but these accusations of us dumping, that's not in our best interest to do that. So I guess just a couple of clarification points. First of all, I do know for a fact that Ripple's selling that they do has an effect on the price. Yes, it has a negative effect on the price, and they sell every single day. The same goes for Jeff McCallum, who's selling XRP every single day. It is a push downwards. Now, do I think that it's very, very bad though? Do I think it has a very, huge effect, and thus that's the reason why the price is down now? I don't think so, because I think the amount that they're selling is like 0.1%, maybe 0.01% of the total volume every day, and thus it would not be a big influence, but it does have a little bit of a bearish influence. It has. Now, I think if they were to stop selling, it would not all of a sudden turn the whole thing around, even if Jim McCallum were to stop selling. And also, for example, this one that they're saying here with Ripple would not be profitable without selling XRP, pretty logical to me. If you're focused on selling XRP all the time and all of a sudden it falls away, it's not so strange that you've already made your system in the way that you spend more to make more money in the end, right? So for example, if you stop working right now, yeah, you won't be cash flow positive. Why? Or possibly why? Because, well, you didn't anticipate on that happening, so you didn't decide to make more cash flows, right? So I think for Ripple as well, that's a wrong comparison to make. I believe that had they not had XRP, they would have probably found some other way to make profit right now, and they would have probably not spent as much as they are doing right now, and not incentivize as many players to utilize XRP and all of that, and they would most likely be cash positive still. Ripple's XRP is recovering, but here is why it could reverse to 16.5 cents. Ripple is currently correcting higher than from the 18.10 cent support against the US dollar. XRP price is now facing key barriers, and it could reverse towards the 1650 area. Ripple price is up more than 2%, and it is above the 1860 level against the US dollar. There are still many hurdles near the 19 cent level on the 100 SMA. There's a key connecting bearish trend line forming with resistance near 1890 on the hourly chart of the XRP to USD pair. And the pair could struggle to gain bullish momentum above the 1890 and the 1900 resistance levels. A little bit of a price update. Got some more as I saw it. I was like, yeah, let me just quickly put it in the video. Ripple price analysis, XRP slips further away from the 19 cents as bears get more comfortable. Quick update, XRP right now 0.5% up at 18.8 cents-ish. And yeah, so I guess we're not even slipping that much further away from 19 cents right now, as we've just recovered about 0.5%. We're even getting closer to 19 cents, I would say. XRP saw a small 1% decline, not the way it is anymore. And Ripple price analysis, XRP to USD bears stand ready, sell-off may continue towards 17 cents. Ripple's XRP is vulnerable to new losses as long as it stays under 19 cents. The initial support is created by the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level. And here they were saying the next supports are 18.2, 17.1, and 16 cents for the US dollar pair, 27.10, 2680, and 2620 Satoshi on, of course, the Bitcoin pair. And last but not least, Bitcoin is about to make a big move. Just a quick reminder to y'all that whenever XRP will make a big move, it will most likely stem out of BTC's move first. So Bitcoin will make a move, and then the money will flow into XRP. Or people will go from traditional investments into something more, let's say, for example, people make money with the stock market right now. They want to get that money out of there because they've made money, right? And they want to diversify now. Or let's say the stock market goes down, same thing goes, people are afraid, so they want to diversify or get out of something that's so scary that's been going down for a little while. So for example, they go to BTC, right? Or they go to crypto. What happens is they're going to go for one of the coins that has the highest likelihood to stay stable or go up. And that's either Tether slash a stablecoin or Bitcoin, because that one is the most stable out of the coins you could pick. And I guess a stable coin is really stable because that's the point. And also, of course, they want to go for kind of the safest bet out of it all, the most known and stuff, because, hey, you don't want to expose yourself to too much risk. Once they get in Bitcoin, they're like, all right, either they're going to wait for this move upwards, they're going to go for, or move downwards even, or they're going to diversify, right? They're going to go for more and more coins. But most of the time, they're like, well, what could happen right now? When would an altcoin go up? Well, an altcoin would go up 9 out of 10 times when somebody decides to sell BTC for that altcoin, or when somebody decides to sell Bitcoin for a intermediary coin like Tether, and then from that Tether buy an altcoin again. When would people do that though? Well, they would either do that when Bitcoin is doing very bad, or when Bitcoin is doing very, very good. Why so? Well, because most of the time what we've seen historically is that when Bitcoin is very, very good, people have made some money and now they want to diversify into some more quote-unquote riskier assets. So when the price of Bitcoin goes up, people decide to go for different altcoins. For example, XRP is one of them, which they really decide to buy heavily then, which is also why you almost always see a Bitcoin move first and then an altcoin move.